Good evening, YouTube. Welcome back once again to Fat Cat Collections. Today I want to go ahead and do another video, another discussion video, another buyer beware, a YouTuber beware video about watch collecting and the morons that we have on YouTube when it comes to watches. You guys hear it. You guys hear me defend the brand and different smaller brands, not even smaller brands, but just the underdog brands, right? The ones that the watch snobs and the trolls, the luxury watch knuckleheads, who think you have to spend thousands of dollars for a watch and in order to get that kind of quality, and that the difference that you're going to have with a luxury timepiece is this night and day difference that you make brands like Invicta, Aragon, Bulova, Movado, you make them out to be pieces of crap, right? They're just garbage. And the fact of the matter is, if anybody who's actually owned these brands, who is an honest person with a brain in their head, maybe not, you know, hitting the head or whatever their issues might be, somebody with an actual working, common sense thinking brain will know that the difference in quality with super high priced watches is minuscule. It's microscopic differences. It's on paper differences. And most of the time, things that really don't matter. Again, remember, we're not comparing modern day brands, modern day luxury brands to 1980s, you know, replicas with bad machining and crummy manufacturing. It's not like that anymore. So one thing I want to also talk about, and the main reason I did this video, is because, again, you'll find morons like It's Constipated doing videos, making claims for things that just aren't true. Meanwhile, people who don't know much will go ahead and say, oh man, look at how these watches are appreciating with age, or appreciating with time. And it's not the case. Just because you buy a watch, like Rolex right now is extremely desirable. Neither you nor I can determine what the market is going to bear at some point. Nobody really knows. It's like anything. It's like coin collecting. It's like art, anything like that. There is a time when the market's really hot, markets fluctuate. So just because you think you can buy a Rolex, and right now, if it's a desirable brand like a Batman, you can get it and then flip it, yeah, you can do that, right? Maybe in the last couple of years, maybe you could buy a brand new Submariner, Batman, Hulk, whatever is super popular, and then flip it, right? Because they're very hard to get, and I believe they're controlling the market in order to keep the price inflated, to keep this frenzy going, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to buy that watch and at some point be able to double your money on it. Nobody knows what the market's going to bear. Now, there is a good chance that if you buy a Rolex watch, you're most likely, again, depending on the model, will be able to get some of your money back, if not most of your money back, if not more sometimes. That can be said with anything. If there is a desire out there for a product, then people are willing to pay for it if it's desirable and it's rare, right? That's how it's supply and demand at its very basic, right? And so when you look at guys who are reviewing watches and talking about how, oh man, I made money on this. Yeah, there is a possibility that you made money on that, of course, but that's not a guarantee. You can just go to eBay anytime you want and look at the thousands of watches by Rolex that are on there that are less than retail, right? Of course, there are ones that are more, but there's a lot of them you get that are pre-owned. Remember, when you buy something and you hold on to it for investment, generally you don't wear investment pieces. Now, what's really interesting is this moron went ahead and makes this bullshit video where it says the Seiko XKS 007J price is up over 200%. Maybe it's up 200% brand new, okay? Maybe because there's a thing called inflation. There's a thing called supply and demand. We have a logistics problem in this country for products coming from overseas. A Japanese watch does come from overseas, so of course you're going to have a supply problem. So whatever is left here, I've noticed prices on everything going up. That's not just some random thing with just Seiko, a Japanese-made version. The video is completely misleading, making you think that, oh man, this is like I really know my watches. I really went ahead and bought one that I can double my money on. No, if you look on eBay and look for that exact model number, the XKX 007J, the Japanese version, there's not a lot on there, but the ones that are on there, yep, there's a brand new one, $599. Yes, there is, of course. That doesn't mean they're selling them for $599. And of course, there's pre-owned ones. Pre-owned for $150 with free shipping. Now, let me just see if that one is actually, it is a bid, it is pre-owned, it's a 3-day bid. So we'll see what that actually goes for. There is 23 people watching it, so I'm sure it'll go for more than that. Here's another one for $76 pre-owned. So the fact of the matter is that these are not up 200%. They may be up new 200%, and if somebody's stupid enough to buy one, once they become available again, you'll find them for cheaper. You'll find them for a better price. I can say that about several of my Invictas. I can say that about my Bulova Precisionist. I paid $289. If you want one of those now, they're $600. So that's what it is. It's just a supply and demand going on right now in the country. It's not like there is some amazing, these watches are appreciating and growing in value. No, that's not the case. Okay, here's another one, pre-owned Japanese version. Buy it now for 400 bucks. Of course, there's the guys who see things like this that are going on, and they, of course, will try to capitalize on that. I wouldn't doubt if this guy turns around and tries to sell his on eBay, of course. And more power to you. If you can get more money for it, then great. But don't put up stupid videos that are completely misleading, because these watch snobs create the facade that these are investment pieces, and there is no such thing as an investment piece. There's a watch that you can. Let me backtrack. You can make anything an investment piece, right? You can buy something in hopes that the price goes up. Based on statistics, based on track record, it is hit or miss. I have Aragon watches, another brand that I can go ahead and sell now for far more than I paid, because they're limited edition, because you can't find them anywhere. That's any brand. If it's desirable and people want it and you paid less for it, you'll make money on it. That's not appreciation. That's just the way, that's just inflation. Okay, when you look at something, I guess that is kind of a little bit of appreciation. Certain things do, like property value. Not that, he would necessarily know anything about owning anything. But, with stuff like property value, you buy a house, you wait enough time. Usually real estate does appreciate unless you're in a bad area. But again, there's no guarantees. There's lots of people who bought places in different parts of the country and turn around and the market crashed after the big bubble and they lost all their shit. So, my point is that there are no guarantees in life. And again, just be careful with who you listen to and, and what you believe. Remember, I'm never going to tell you guys to go invest your money in a watch. I think it's a poor investment to invest in any watch. Unless a lot of these guys who pretend to be like guys who they flaunt that, like I got my Rolex, they can flaunt that, right? Most of the time they have to finance it. They have to cash out their savings to get it. They have to make a big car payment or big payment on it next to their finance car payment. And then ultimately, what they do is they bank on the fact that they'll be able to get their money back out of it. They bank on the fact they can wear it and hopefully make a little money. I can tell you right now that if there wasn't as much of a frenzy going on right now, people would be very careful buying brands like that. They'd be very careful spending a lot of money on a watch that there's more of a probability they won't get their money back on it. Again, I don't wish anybody any kind of, hardship, of course. Maybe some people. But just be careful with what you spend your money on, and just know that if you're going to buy, if you are set on saying I'm going to buy something for an investment purpose, I don't recommend you buy a Seiko, but if you are going to buy something for an investment purpose, make sure you buy something. Of course, like anything else, you got to get it for the right price. You can't bank on I'm going to buy this for what they're charging retail. I know this MSRP on this Rolex is $8,000, but I'm going to go in to pay $20 for it because it's going to keep going up. I think that's very foolish. Now, if it does and you make money, by all means, great. But I'm not willing to take that risk. I'm not willing to pump my hard-earned money into a giant slot machine, because that's really what it is. You're hoping that the market keeps going. And who knows what will happen with the watch market. It's an unknown like anything else. Just be very careful listening to people online with their nonsense. Remember, when somebody tells you about investing in anything, no matter what it is, there are risks associated with anything. Any kind of investment. And if you are going to buy, my only recommendation to you is, if you are going to buy a watch for an investment purpose, make sure you get it brand new, you get it for a fair price, and you do not touch it or wear it. You need it mint. Like anything else, mint is what makes the money, not pre-owned, worn, scratched up at your bartending job. So anyway, guys, hope that was helpful. I just wanted to put out that, that buyer beware, that YouTube warning. As always, guys, have a great day, subscribe to the channel, and take care.